Hi everyone, it's Megan Marino here for my midterm reflective presentation for linguistics. Let's get started. For my Module 2 survey that I did linguistically, I got placed 2 out of 3 regions was from Baton Rouge, which is where I'm from, and my third region was from Texas, which is about 6 to 4 hours away from my house. So I thought it was really cool that some of the word choices that I use was it was able to map me into southern Louisiana. Some of the words that we use in the area, very indigenous, like a collective soft drink that we say would be Coke, even though if we're referring to a Dr. Pepper or Sprite. We also say po' boy instead of hoagie or sub. And so the uniqueness definitely showed up in my test. And we just have a very distinct way and vocabulary that we use when we speak. So it definitely sticks us out apart from a crowd. In my Module 3 comment, I talk about accommodation theory and the importance of speaking slowly, using simpler words to communicate, to get points across clearly as possible, especially for speakers of non English as their first language. And oftentimes I get to decipher and use context clues from my coworkers of what they're saying in English as well. I just more like to reiterate the importance of using the combination theory around those who have different linguistic backgrounds than yourself. And I feel that it's important to find something that works between you and those that you're talking with to make them feel included and feel like they're being heard. For my Module 3 comment, I said that I changed my speech to seem proper, more intelligent, or educated when I'm around a certain group of people, especially members of my family that have higher education. I find this to especially be true when I'm in a professional setting speaking with my bosses. I speak very clearly and properly, and it varies from my bosses to my coworkers to where I can use slang and kind of shorten words. Same thing with my professors. With my professors, you speak very articulately and use bigger words, and compared to your classmates, you use uh, more slang and just kind of a more comical atmosphere rather than serious. For my Module 4 voice thread, I spoke on my work environment and how that I adjust my way of speaking, my communication, and my vocabulary with my coworkers because English is not their first language. So I find it's very important to condense what I'm saying, simplify it, pronounce and enunciate things very clearly to get a point across, especially when you're working in a team and a group of people. And I feel like this communication, a simplistic form of communication, is helping things to be less confusing and to function the best that it can, aside from me speaking their native language. For my Module 5 take on Standard American English, I reiterated that I grew up in South Louisiana and that in comparison to Standard American English, it was definitely different. Even though SAE was taught in my school, most of our teachers were still from South Louisiana. So even when I'm speaking quote unquote properly and grammatically correct, there's still parts of my language my language heritage that comes out. And this has definitely, my Cajun French roots have definitely influenced my education and having a unique slang and pronunciation and expressions in my everyday vocabulary. For my second comment about standard American English in Module 5, I stated that it is important to be respectful and understanding of other cultures and dialects in the classroom and outside. I think while having a common dialect that everyone can share is important, it's critical that native standard American English speakers take the initiative to learn more about non standard American English dialects and the cultures that speak them. So, even though in society we are very quick to judge people on how they speak, I feel like that we should still get to know the person behind the vocabulary. We should not define people based on how they speak English or how they speak any other language, but we should really respect them as a person and not be so quick to judge them based on how they talk.